Good evening, friends. Stop talking, please. Shh. Good evening, friends. First, we will complete two more problems in currency swaps. Question number 7 and question number 8. 7 is similar to 5 and 6 with one small issue which we'll know while doing the problem. The seventh question is a past examination question. Question number 8 is swap valuation. Very similar to interest rate swap, much more simpler. We'll do question number 8. 9 has been already done by us as parallel loan. 10 is a solved sum which I'll give it as homework. Okay, please. Once I complete these two sums, we go for a very simple and straightforward chapter called as mergers and acquisitions, which we'll do in the remaining part of today's class and the next class and complete the syllabus. Please. Shh. Now, we have been discussing about currency swaps. Currency swap is a transaction between two parties who exchange interest rates on different currencies. The notional principal at the beginning of the swap need not be exchanged, but may be exchanged if the parties require that in the agreement. Please. But as the swap starts, every year interest rate should be exchanged. Unlike interest rate swaps, we cannot knock off the interest and settle the difference because they are in two currencies. So the interest will be exchanged fully, we should be knowing in the currency swap. Last year, the notional principal should be exchanged because year 0 notional principal will be same in equivalent terms at spot rate. Same spot rate may not prevail at the last year. Notional principal should be exchanged. This is the first issue we discussed in swap. Number 2. The swap will start with 0 value on an assumption that all the future forward exchange rates will be as per interest rate parity theory, and the interest rate during the swap period in the market, global market, does not change. On that assumption, swap starts with the 0 value, but the swap becomes a swap asset or swap liability based on the exchange rate movement and then interest rate movements. Then we saw how an interest rate, how a currency swap can be used to transform an asset or liability of one currency to another currency. I can convert a dollar loan to pound loan using currency swap, or a pound say deposit into dollar deposit using a currency swap. How it is done has been done in two sums with some uses has been discussed. Then we saw arbitrage using currency swap, how it should be structured, where we had two discussions where the dealer bears the exchange rate risk or where one of the party bears the exchange rate risk is also discussed. Through this, we discussed question number 5 and question number 6. Even though someone may be repetitive, it highlights one point. Due to that, I am doing question number 7. Once done, we'll quickly complete the swap valuation. So, before 7 o'clock, we should complete all this discussion quickly, or even 6:45, and then go to the mergers and acquisition chapter. First of all, can we start or not? Just today, I think we all know that the class is at 5:45. La? That is known, na? Okay, please. Take question number 7. Say, don't think that I am discussing unnecessary things and all. The 7th question is a past examination question. It's one past examination question. We may not know that these are all asked in the examination, but if you carefully follow interest rate swaps, currency swaps, all are being asked in the exams. And few problems which I have done is also RTP questions. Please, take question number 7. Please. Firm A is a US-based multinational firm. Firm B is a France-based multinational firm. Both companies have till now borrowed exclusively in their home currency. Now firm A can issue a 5-year US dollar bond at 7.5% interest and 5-year French franc bond at 11% interest. Firm B can issue 5-year US dollar bond at 7%, 5-year French franc bond at 12%. Firm A requires $100 million, whereas Firm B requires French franc 550 million. Current exchange rate is $1 is equal to 5.5 French franc. Tell me, these two principles are different or same or same? They are same at the spot rate. So swap can be easily structured. A. What kind of swap can A and B enter into? What will be the total cost and savings to each party is the question that has been asked. Okay. Now, here we should assume some issue and then do the problem. I'll make you understand it as you go through the solution. First, can we start writing the facts together in the question or not? No. Write down first. Did you all read the question along with me? No. Write down facts. Right. Problem number 6 or 7? 7. Problem number 7. Please help. Don't touch. Problem number 7. Facts. Please. Shh. Problem number 7. Facts. Tell me the two currencies involved, dollar and then French franc. Dollar, French franc. Name the two companies A and then B. Dollar, French franc, and then the companies are A and B. Shall we start? Now, Firm A can issue dollar bond at how much percent? So, how much percent? 7 point? Okay. Firm A can issue dollar bond at 7.5%. Hope you are writing along with me. No. Firm A can issue French franc bond at how much percent? How much percent? 11%. Firm B can issue dollar bond at how much percent? 7%. Firm B can issue French franc bond at how much percent? How much percent? It's going to be at 12%. So these are the interest rates given in the question. Now tell me the requirement. Firm A wants to raise money in dollar or French franc dollar. It wants to raise money in what? Dollar. Firm B wants to raise the money in what? French franc. That is, Firm A wants to raise the money in dollar. Firm B wants to raise the money in what? French franc. All of you are you reading and writing along with me? No. Solupa. If Firm A and Firm B has not met each other, has not what? Met each other. I want an answer. Firm A will be borrowing money at how much percent? 7.5. Firm B will borrow money at how much percent? 12%. This will be the interest without the currency swap. Yes or no? Now, they met each other and they got this particular schedule. They got this particular schedule. Firm A and B decided, let A borrow in French franc. Borrow in what franc here? French franc. He can save for the group. How much percent? 1%. Let Firm B borrow in what? Dollars. It can pay a save or save. It too can save how much percent? 0.5. That means we should not reduce the difference. We should do what? Add it. Another, don't blindly close eyes and say difference in rate minus difference in rate. Not like that. That's why I'm always explaining and what? Doing it. Now, solo pudinjapa. Say, if A instead of dollar borrows in what? French franc, it will save for that group. How much percent? 1%. B instead of FFR borrows in what? Dollar. It's how much percent? 0.5. Together they say how much percent? 1.5. Which you can share what? 0.75% each. Yes or no? No. You should not subtract 1% minus what? 0.5, right? Point is going to be the same. Wrong. Always don't blindly apply the strategy. I have been telling for every sum the logic or not. Please apply the logic and do it. Everybody have the clarity about. This is a reason why mainly this problem is what done to highlight this particular point. Can I proceed or not? No. Write down. Step 1. Write down step 1. Calculation of, I think I'll copy it up to this. Okay. Step 1. Calculation of effective interest after currency swap. Calculation of effective interest after currency swap. Calculation of effective interest after currency swap. Okay. This alone, I'll write as a paragraph to explain and then do the calculation. Can I say? Now, unlike that, in that right. A wants to borrow. A wants to borrow in dollar. A wants to borrow in dollar. At interest cost of how much percent? 7.5%. A wants to borrow in dollar at interest cost of 7.5%. And B in FFR. And B in FFR at interest cost of how much percent? 12%. And B in French franc at interest cost of 12%. At interest cost of 12%. Are you all following or not? This is point number 1. This is point number 1. Below that, right. Point number 2. When A borrows in FFR, it can save. When A borrows in French franc, it can save, fill in the blanks, it can save how much percent? 1%. It can save 1%. And when B borrows in dollar, it can save how much percent? 0.5%. And when B borrows in dollar, it can save 0.5%. And together they can save. 1% plus 0.5%. And together they can save 1% plus 0.5% is equal to 1.5%. Together they can save 1% plus 0.5% is equal to 1.5%. Are you following or not? Point number 2 or 3? 3. This swap gain can be shared equally. This swap gain can be shared equally. At how much percent? 0.75% each. This swap gain can be shared equally at 0.75% each. Point 4. Effective interest A is equal to. Point 4. Effective interest A is equal to. Can you tell me effective interest A is equal to what? 7.5% minus 0.75%. 7.5% minus 0.75% is equal to 6.75%. 6.75%. Effective interest B is equal to. Effective interest B is equal to. Effective interest B is equal to 12% minus. So about 12% minus 0.75%. 12% minus 0.75% is equal to how much percent? 11.25% is equal to 11.25%. Okay. With this, step 1 has been computed here. We got the target. From that, you can draw the diagram. Can I see? Now, step 2. Interest flow diagram. Step 2. Interest flow diagram. All of you, listen 1 minute. There's no dealer in between. If there's no dealer in between, one of them has to bear what? The exchange rate risk. Remember, last class. It can be any one of them. I'll draw the diagram in both ways. I draw diagram in what? Both ways. Okay. Step 2 is what? Interest rate flows. When interest rate flows, when exchange rate risk. When exchange rate risk. Interest rate flows when exchange rate risk is borne by. When exchange rate risk is borne by A. When exchange rate risk is borne by A. Can I proceed or not? So, what I say, interest rate flows when exchange rate risk is borne by A. Now, can we start drawing the diagram together? No. Now, we have the following parties. First, write lender. L stands for what? Lender. Then we have A. Then we have lender. Then we have B. Lender A and lender B. Please, shh. Tell me, A wants to borrow in what? Dollars. But borrows in what? French franc. It pays to its lender. Tell me, how much interest, please? FFR 11%. It pays its lender an interest of FFR 11%. Agreed or not? Next. B normally wants to borrow in what? FFR. But no, borrows in what? Borrows in what? Dollars. So it is going to pay its lender interest in what? Dollars. How much interest? $7%. $7%. Now, in my heading I have given, who is bearing the exchange risk? A or B? Upon draw the diagram for B, A will be the balancing figure. You know what I am saying? If interest rate risk is borne by B, then draw the diagram for what? A. B will be what? Balancing figure. If it is borne by dealer, suppose in between, draw the diagram for A and B. Dealer becomes what? Dealer he'll be what? The balancing figure. Respond is or no? No. Like that we have to draw. Now we have to keep in mind whom? B to have an effective interest. Answer solupa. B or the effective interest is how much? FFR 11.25. Romba simple. B will receive in the swap how much dollar? $7%. B will receive in the swap $7%. Because then only dollar gets knocked off. Is or no? And it would like to pay, tell me how much FFR? What the effective interest it wants ultimately? 11.25%. It likes to pay FFR 11.25%. Likes to pay FFR 11.25%. This is one answer. Everybody understood or not? No. In this case, I want an answer. B receives what? $7%. Pays what? $7%. Pays for swap what? FFR 11.25%. B is having ultimately an effective interest how much percent? FFR 11.25%. Which others would have been how much percent? 12%. B is happy. Point number 1. Yes or no? Come to A. Please come to what? A. Listen here. A receives what? FFR 11.25. Pays what? How much percent is here? 11%. It is making 0.25% gain in French franc. It is paying how much? $7 dollar, which otherwise I paid how much percent? 7.5. It is paying 0.5% dollar what? Less, making 0.5% gain in dollar and receiving what? 0.25% French franc extra, making gain of what? 0.25. It is making a gain in one currency across two currencies. It is having a gain. I don't deny that. But the points on will be effectively gained or not, nobody knows without knowing the exchange rate. Did you follow what I am discussing or not? So this is regarding the A and then what? B. Can I proceed? Write down conclusion. Write down conclusion for this. Conclusion. Point 1. B receives 7% dollar interest in swap. B receives 7% dollar interest in swap and pays 7% dollar interest in bond and pays 7% dollar interest in bond and pays what? FFR 11.25% for swap and pays FFR 11.25% for swap and pays FFR 11.25% for swap. Effectively having FFR 11.25% as interest. Effectively having FFR 11.25% as interest. Effectively having FFR 11.25% as interest. Full stop. Had there been no swap, continue reading. Had there been no swap, had there been no swap, had there been no swap, it would have paid Had that been no swap, it would have paid how much? FFR 12%. Had that been no swap, it would have paid FFR 12%. Effectively saving. Effectively saving how much? 0.75%. Effectively saving FFR 0.75%. Effectively saving FFR 0.75%. This answer are you following or not? Next, point number 2. Conclusion of point number 2. A receives FFR 11.25%. A receives FFR 11.25% from swap. A receives FFR 11.25% from swap and pays FFR 11% in bond. And pays FFR 11% in bond. And pays FFR 11% in bond. Gaining how much? 0.25% FFR interest. Gaining 0.25% FFR interest. Gaining 0.25% FFR interest. Did you understand what I am saying? Next, continue. It pays $7 interest. It pays $7 interest. Come on. Had there been no swap, 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 it would have paid how much? $7.5% interest. Had there been no swap, it would have paid $7.5% interest, thereby saving how much percent? $0.5% interest. Thereby saving $0.5% interest. Overall, it saves 0.75% across two currencies. Overall, it saves 0.25% across 0.75% across two currencies. Overall, it saves 0.75% across two currencies. Across two currencies. Can I proceed or not? Now, step 2 or step 3? Step 3. Interest rate flows. Interest rate flows if exchange rate risk borne by. Interest rate flows if exchange rate risk borne by. If exchange rate risk borne by. Tell me which company? B. If exchange risk borne by B. If exchange rate risk borne by B. See, I have forgotten everything. You should only guide me in this diagram at least. Got to see diagram here. Understand what I am saying? Entire syllabus last diagram. Can I say now? Tell me. First, Solupa, what is that? Lender. Examiner don't write L. They ask who is that? Okay, so first write what? Lender. And who is the person there? A. Okay. And again what? Lender. Next is what? B. Shh. Don't talk. Solupa. A wants to borrow at what rate? Help me. A wants to borrow at what rate? $. But borrows at what rate? FFR. It borrows at FFR. How much percent? 11%. B wants to borrow an FFR. But borrows in what? $. How much percent? 7%. Tell me who should you satisfy first? B is what? A balancing figure. So by A what effective interest it wants to ultimately pay is how much percent? So look, A ultimately effectively wants to pay how much interest here? 6.75. So now it will receive how much percent? FFR 11%. Neutralize this flow. It is FFR 11%. And pays what? $. How much percent? 6.75%. Pays $6.75%. For this, I will not dictate conclusion notes. You have to write on your own as I did in the last slide. Yes or no? No. No, but let us discuss and leave it. Now, this diagram understood or not? Solupa. A, tell me what is the effective interest rate? It received FFR 11 in swap, use it to pay what? Bond interest, and pays what? 6.75% dollar interest in what? Swap. The swap has effectively converted the FFR bond into what? Dollar bond. What? 6.75%? Yes or no? Had there been no swap, I'm paying how much percent? 7.5. Thereby saving for the group how much percent? 0.75%. Yes or no? Can I proceed? Next. Come to B. Now you should tell me for B. B receives how much? $6.5. Pays what? $7. It pays $0.25 extra or not? Solupa. It pays $0.25 what? Extra. I want an answer. Yes or no? No. And B pays how much interest? 11% FFR. Had it not gone for swap, B would have paid how much percent? 12%. It is saving 1% interest in what? FFR due to swap. But it is paying what? $0.25% extra due to what? Swap. So overall, if you see, it is saving how much percent? 0.75 across one currency or two currencies. Two currencies is what we should be understanding. Any procedure? Now, see, I cannot have a effective arbitrage unlike an interest rate swap where both are in same currency. At least some party will be a balancing figure, will be having a little bit less effective arbitrage only, and if it is a dealer, it is well and good because he can say hedge it using what? Some other currency swap. If it is no dealer, means there is going to be one party who is what is suffering. It all depends on the negotiation between the two parties only. Is the nature of the transaction. Everybody are you understanding it or not? No. With this, we have completed the swap arbitrage and the question number 7. Please tell me, are you following or not? No. I did this sum because for only two reasons here. Number one, in this sum we did not have a dealer. We had only one, A and B. I showed you how A can bear risk or B can bear risk. Moreover, there is a swap gain in both the sides. Here I save 1%, I save here also 0.5. You should not have subtracted it. You should have what? Added it. That should be thought and what done in the examination. You understand how I identify the arbitrage amount or not? Now, these are all the two issues discussed in this particular sum. Can I go to the next problem or not? Okay, now see. Question number 7 is the next sum. So question number 8 is the last sum we are going to do in currency swap. Before that, for that, let me give a background which is already discussed. Let us continue once again. See, we had question number 1 in which IBM and British Petroleum exchange pound 11% interest against what? $8%. Remember, on a notion principle of how many pounds? 10 million pounds against what? $15 million. Am I right or not? No. Tell me, these two notion principles are equal at what rate? Spot rate. And these are the two prevailing interest rate today in UK and then what? US. And hence they decide to what? Swap this. Here, we prove through numbers that if these two interest rate continues to be same for 5 years. Yes or no? That is, the interest rate does not go up and down. The two countries will be having what? Same interest rate for what? Next 5 years. And the exchange rate year after year exactly follows the route of what theory? IRPT theory. Then tell me who will be gaining in this swap? IBM, British Petroleum, 0 0. That is a 0 gain, 0 loss. One can say person will be having advantage in what? Interest rate. The person having advantage in interest rate will be having a disadvantage in what? Currency, and it's going to be vice versa. If IRPT holds good and the discounting rate is always 8% for dollar or 11% for what? Pound. When you want to value it, in that case, you will be ending up in a swap which is having a value. How much rupees here? 0 is the issue we discussed. Suppose this is swap started after 1 or 2 years. After what? 1 or 2 years. Surely these two currency rates may change or not. 11%, 8%, maybe 10% and say 6%, something it may want a change. Okay, that may be a change in what? The interest rate in two countries. Federal interest rate may be what? Hiked or lessened and so on. So there may be a change in what? Interest rate. Not only that, there is also a change in what? Exchange rate, which is not following what route? IRPT. Now tell me, one of the party will be having an asset in the swap. Other will be having what? Liability. That is, swap will be advantage from one party and disadvantage for what? Other party. That asset liability, we should know how to value or not. So let us value that using what method? Bond prices valuation method. Rompa simple here. We are swapping two bonds. We are swapping what bonds here? Two bonds. What are two bonds here? Dollar bond against pound bond. Value both the bond. It should be having same value only at the initiation. This is going to be same value at the initiation or not? $10 million against what? 15 million pound at spot rate. But as it progresses, the two bond values at the given spot rate on that date need not be having what? Same value on a discounted. In that case, one will be having a bond asset and will be having what? Bond liability. This is called a swap asset and swap liability. Every so no, we can value the asset and liability in either of the currency, either in bonds, in dollars, or in what? Pounds. How to do that will be the subject matter of discussion. Everybody, are you following? Simple. I am going to find out value of two bonds and then what? Knit it out to find out the swap value. As simple as it. Sulupa. Inga you need not calculate forward rate and all. Forward is only to know the LIBOR etc. Okay. Inga every rate is what? Given straight away. Given what? Straight away. Just you have to apply and do the swap calculation. Can you do one problem in this regard or not? No. With this we'll complete this currency swap. Just another 20 minutes let us take to do it. You need not write the solution in the notebook. Why? Typed and given, you can write the solution in the classroom notes in the spaces or blanks which have been provided to you. So take question number 8. Question number 8. Shh, please, don't talk. A currency swap has a remaining life of 15 months. How many years? 1.25 years. Good evening, friends. Balbar, please come back. Now you're all very vibrant now during break. Now come back. Focus here. Can I start down? Now. Shh. A currency swap has a remaining life of 15 months. How many years? That's what I asked you last time also. Okay, now. It involves exchange of 14% interest on what? 20 million pounds for 10% interest on $30 million once a year. The term structure of the interest rates in both the countries is flat. That means what? All the years it is going to be same. Whether it is a 1 year bond or 2 years bond or 3 year bond, it's going to having what? Same interest rate. Term structure flat now. There is no sloping yield curve. Yield curve is what? Flat. I discussed in one of the sums that earlier. So no. Next. Shh. If the swap were negotiated today, the interest rate exchange would have been 8% in dollars and 11% in pounds. Currently, the dollar interest rate is how much percent? 8%. Instead of how much percent? 10. And pound interest rate is how much percent? 11%. Instead of 14. Now tell me, at the time of swap initiation, they were equal to how much? 14 and 10%. Now they began what? 11 and 8%. Am I right or not? Next. All interest rates quoted is with annual compounding. Current exchange rate is $1.65 per pound. What is the value of the swap to the party paying dollar and to the party paying sterling is a question which has been asked. Shall we start doing the sum together or not? Okay. Now, first of all, let us draw the flow diagram. We can assume the name of the two parties A and what? B, and then see how the swap flows. And then we can just go for the valuations. Okay. Swap is between two parties. Can you draw together? Name the two parties A, and then the second form is what? B. It is between A and B. Shh, please. Is between A and B. Assume like this. A has issued a pound bond. Issued what? A pound bond. A is issued a pound bond worth how many million? At the beginning, how many million here? 20 million. A issued a pound bond worth how many million? 20 million. It will be paying dollar interest or pound interest or pound interest. It's a pound paying company in the swap. It pays pound. How much percent interest? Solupa. 14% interest. Am I right or not? Next. And B is a party which has, imagine like this, issued what bond? Dollar bond. B has issued what bond? Dollar bond. What? How many dollars? $30 million. Yes or no? Worth $30 million. And it pays what interest in the swap? $10% interest in the swap. It pays what? $10% in the swap. Now, they have not said A, B and all. They only said generally those party paying a dollar interest, those party paying what? Pound interest. For us to identify, I gave what? A name and a diagram for you to understand it. A and what? B. Everybody, I'll have the clarity or not? Shh. See, at the beginning of the swap, up to this finish copying, at the wait, shh. Finish copying, Yes, who has not? Please, those who are not copy, raise your hand. Finish up. Can I proceed? Okay. Now, see, this swap might have started some years back. Now it is not the initiation date. Now only 1.25 years more water left. Listening, This would have started what? Some years back. Suppose it has started 3 years back. How many years back here? 3 years back. Can I proceed? At that time, 14% and 10% were the going interest rate in pounds and dollars in the respective countries. And at that time, the 20 million and what? 30 million are equivalent principal. Why? At the spot rate. In other words, these cash swap cash flows, that is interest exchange as well as a final principal exchange. If you calculate the swap cash flows and discount using the, and then can convert into what? IRPT forward for any one of the currency, discount using what? The respective interest rates, I will be getting how much value? Zero value. Or in other words, I can say a pound bond worth 20 million having how much interest? 14% interest is same as what? A dollar bond worth what? 30 million at what percent interest? 10% interest. Up to this, I mean the clarity enough. These two bonds having what? Same value. Having what? Same value. The value of the pound bond will be equal to what? Value of the dollar bond. So the pound bond 14%, 14% coupon for 3 years, and for the third year what? Redemption. Discount will be how much percent? How much it is? 20 million. Same thing here also. And they are also having what? Equivalent value due to what? A spot exchange rate. Yes or no? Now, swap has already started here. Now, only how many months more? 15 months more. Only how many months more here? 15 months more. And it's an annual coupon paying swap. And interest is compounded annually, and it's only an annual coupon paying swap. One has to what? Understand it. Now, Solupa, only 1.25 years more or not? Still can I say these two bonds has got the same equivalent value? Their values would have now changed due to two reasons. Now, the current interest rate is not 14% equal to what? 10%. It is 11% equal to what? 8%. So the discount rate has changed. Point number one. Yes or no? When I discount a pound bond, I don't discount at 14. I'll be discounting how much percent? How much percentage? 11. Pound bond is paying 14, but people now only want how much percent? 11%. Tell me the bond will be trading at par, more than par, more than par. Because people want 14%, but the swap is, so people want 11%. Swap is paying how much? 14%. So this bond should be trading at what? Premium. Is accepted? Yes or no? Same way, dollar bond is there or not? Now, still the dollar is 10%, less than 10%, less than 10%. Now people want how much in dollar? 8%. But this dollar bond is paying what percent? 10%. Be trading at par or premium or premium. Don't say both are at premium. Both may be at what? Premium. But the interest rate difference need not be same. IRPT may be different or not. Now, today the spot interest rate is how much? Yeah, $1 is equal, 1 pound is equal to 1.6. 1 pound is equal to $1.65. Okay. In all this, if you put together, we may understand that this swap need not be having what? Same value. One party may be having more value, and somebody may be having what? Less value. Now, rumba simple. I'm not going to do anything great. I'm going to value this pound bond. I'm going to value this what? Pound bond. What is the value of a pound bond? Present value of all the future pound cash flow discounted at the current yield of 11%. What is the value of a dollar bond? Present value of all the future cash flow discounted what? Current yield of 8%. So these two bond values, knock it out. These two bond values what? Knock it out. Don't knock it out straight away. Knock it out by converting a pound bond either into what? Dollars at spot rate, or dollar bond either into what? Pound at spot rate. And then what? Knock it out. We'll be getting from both parties a swap asset or what? Swap liability. Everybody, are you have the clarity? Yes or no? Can we start doing the solution together? No. Let me read it. See, notes. This swap was initiated some years ago, having how many months to maturity? 15 months to maturity. At the time of initiation, the exchange rate would have been how much? 1 pound is equal to $1.5. Then only 20 million pound is equal to what? $30 million. This is evidence. Can I proceed it? Next. And at that time, the prevailing interest rates would have been 14% and 10% in what? UK and US respectively. First point, understanding it. Next. It was seen through problem one that when there is no change throughout the swap period in the interest rates, the two countries continue to have what? Same interest rates. And exchange rate turned out to be what rates? IRPT rates, then the swap value would be what? 0. If either changes, then there will be a swap gain or loss to the parties. Am I right or not? Next. The currency swap can be understood as taking positions in two bonds. For example, A has taken position in two bonds. I'll just check it. What is A and B? So here they given what? Issued what bond? Pound bond. Am I correct? Super. Without knowing, A has issued what? Pound bond. Notes is matching now. So A has issued what bond? Pound bond. Receiving pound and paying what? 14% pound interest. So A has issued pound bond. It is a liability as a liability. And A has invested what bond? Dollar bond. Receiving interest. It become what? Asset. So A has issued a pound bond, which is a liability, and invested in what? Dollar bond, which is what? Asset. And the swap initiation date, the bond values would have been par values of 20 million and then what? 30 million. Always we call a par value swap. What I'm saying? So 20 million and 30 million. And when the balance sheet is restated, the asset and liability will have the same value. Hence, the swap value is what? 0. I use the word balance sheet restated because when you prepare a balance sheet, any foreign currency asset or liability you have to what? Restate it. On the 31st March date, you have to what is restate the asset and liability, and you also book the restate gain or loss. What I'm saying. So in that case, restating will give you what? The same value for both the bonds. Everybody, yes or no? No. Next. As the swap progresses, the interest rate in the market changes, thereby changing the value of the two bonds. Hence, a party may end up with having a net swap asset or a net swap liability. This is what we have understood through course. Say point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, up to 4th point. Are you have the full clarity? Sollupa. Can I proceed to the next point or not? Now, let's go for the calculation. We have to do it together. Help me out with the calculation. Now, next is valuation of a pound bond. Valuation of what? A pound bond. Okay. Now, all of you, please. First of all, when you suppose buy this pound bond today, tell me what you will receive. What will receive? 14%. A person holding a pound bond will receive what? 14%. On how much? Face value. What face value? 20 million. %14 on 20 million. 20 million to 40. How many days here? 2.8 million. It will receive how many coupons? 2 coupons. Yeah, now I am in what? 15 months. I want to say how many months more? 15 months more. 1.25 years more. So, in another 3 months, in what? Another 3 months, I'll get an annual coupon 2.8. And then for another 1 year, at the end of what? 15th, I'll be getting what? Second coupon of 2.8. Yes or no? So, if you are a holder of this pound bond, if you hold this what? Pound bond, or if you buy a pound bond today, you will be getting what? 2.8 million, 2.8 million, 2 coupons. One at the end of what? 3rd month. Another end of what? End of what month? 15th month. I am now between 2 coupon reset dates. What I am saying. So, I am going to get one at the end of what? 3rd month. One at the end of what? 15th month. 2.8 million pound coupon. Respond. Yes or no? Plus, I will be getting at the end of what? 15th month. I will be getting back the money or not? How much will get back? 20 million pound. So, this is a future cash flow or not? The present value of this future cash flow, present value of this what? Future cash flow, discounted at 14%, current yield at 11%, current yield of 11% gives you what? The value of this pound bond. Value of this what? Pound bond. Respond. I have the clarity. Should I repeat? Can I proceed? Those who want to repeat alone say repeat. Okay, I'll repeat. I heard it. Shh. See, ரொம்ப simple. Value of a bond is what? What is the value of a bond? Present value, future cash flow, discounted at current yield. That's what I am saying. No. Suppose you are buying a pound bond. You are what? Buying a pound bond, having 15 months more to maturity. How much more to maturity? 15 months more to maturity, paying an annual coupon. Paying what coupon? Annual coupon. 1.25 years more to what? Mature. When you buy this bond today, you will be getting the first 2 coupon. When? After 3 months. Already 9 months over, you are buying the bond. In between what? Reset dates. You buy and what? Say now, 9th month you buy the bond. You'll be getting coupon after what? 3 months. Then you'll be getting another coupon after what? 15 months. And then redemption after what? 15 months. So, when you buy a bond today, tell me your cash flows 2.8 million after what? 3 months. How? 14% on 20 million. You get 2.8 million after what? 3 months. And 2.8 million after what? 15 months. And 20 million after what? 15 months. This is your future cash flow or not? This future cash flow, if we discount that, what yield? Current yield. How much percent? 11%. Will you get the value of this bond or not? Solupa. Will you get the value of this bond or not? So this is the value of the pound bond. Like that, one can also value what? Dollar bond. Can we all do these 2 calculations together or not? No. All of you, please write the numbers. Here, I'll write like this. Here is 0.25. Then here is 1.25. You want to write 3 months. And then how many months here? 15 months. 3 months and 15 months. Help me out. Are you following up? No. After 2 months, I'll be getting pound. How many million? 2.8 million. M stands for what? Million. After 1.25 years, I'll be getting how much pound here? 22.8 million pound. 20 million is principal repayment, 2.8 is what? Coupon. Now tell me how many pounds I'll be getting? 22.8 million pound. 22.8 million pound. Now I have to discount at what percent? How much percent? 11%. Now, we'll discount for 1 year. We'll discount for the 3 months. 3 months. Please tell me 11% divided by 4. How many days? 2.75. Discount at 1 by 1.0275. Am I right or not? No. So, right, please tell me the calculation. 1 divided by 1.0275. Number please. 0.97. Solpa 0.9732. 0.9732. Everybody, are you understand it or not? I'll tell you how. It's annual compounding. What compounding? Annual compounding. How to do is, first discount this at 11% for 1 year. Discount is 11% for how many years? 1 year. Then I'll be bringing to what? 0.25 years. Then discount at what? Say what? 2.75% for what? 3 months. I bring it to year 0. Never. Yes or no? So just take the calculator. 1 divided by 1.11. So what's the number? 0.9009. This is going to bring the 1.25 years cash flow to what? 0.25 years. Then once again discount by what? Say 2.75. Yeah. So divided by 1.0275. Tell me what the number, please. 0.8768. 0.8768. 0.8768. 0.8768. If you are unsure about the calculation, I'll just write it here. The first discount rate is 1 by 1.0275. Is it correct? Right or not? Yeah. How I got 0.0275? 11% by 4 gives you 2.75. Tell me this number is going to give me how much? 0.9732. If you are not understanding during revision, write like this. Okay, now. Second case, how I got this number here? 1 divided by 1.11 into what? 1 divided by 1.0275. This brought 1.25 years to 0.25. This brought 0.25 years to what? 0. So by calculation, 1 divided by 1.11 divided by 1.0275. Number please, 0.8768 is equal to 0.8768. I hope you all have understood the calculation. So discounted cash flow is 2.8 million into 0.9732. So how many days? 2.72 million. That's a rounding of correct? Right? 2.72 million. Obviously, there will be some discrepancy due to rounding off. 22.8 million into 0.8768. 19.99 million. Tell me the value of this bond is going to be how much here? 20.71 million. 9 plus 2, 1, 11. Okay, so 22.71 million. This is a pound, dollars, pound. This is a value of the pound bond. This is value of what bond here? Pound bond. Please tell me, are you all following? This is value of the pound bond. Next. Like that, we can even value what bond here? Dollar bond. Let's value the dollar bond. All of you, listen. Shh. Up to this, have you all finished copying? Those who are not yet copied, raise your hand. Shh. Shh. Don't talk. Shall I proceed? Next. Dollar bond. When you buy the dollar bond, when you buy what? Dollar bond. You get how much interest? 10%. And how much million? 30 million. Can you all tell me the cash flow? What are the cash flow here? 3 million. At the end of what? Third month. Another what? 33 million. At the end of what? 15th month. Discounted currently what percent? 8%. Gives a necessary number. Correct? No. So write the year. All of you write the year as what year? 0.25. 1.25. I get $3 million as what? Interest. 33 million is principal repayment along with what? Interest. You want to write 3 months and then what? 15 months for clarity. This 3 million should be discounted 8% or 2% or 2%. 1 divided by 1.02. Number please, 0.9804. Shh. You should be writing along with me, 0.9804. This you first discount at 8% and then at what? 2%. 1 divided by 1.08 is equal to divided by 1.02 is equal to how much? 0.9078. Sollupa. 0.9078. 3 million into 0.9804. What is the number please? Is going to how much here? 2.94. It is 2.94 million. 33 million into 0.9078. What is the number please? It is 29.95. 29.96. 29.96 million. Tell me the total please. 30. 90 32.90 pound or dollar. Both bonds are obviously trading above their par value because people are expecting now lesser interest. It is paying what? More coupon. They are expecting only 11%. It pays what? 14%. They expect only what? 8%. It's paying how much percent? 10%. It can happen. Respond yes or no? No. Now next is value of the currency swap in dollars. We can value the swap in dollar as well as what? Pound. We can knock off these two together because both are different issues or not. So we have to value in what? Dollars. Okay. Now see. Our person A has invested in dollars, pound. Invested in what bond? Dollar bond. And have a liability in what bond? Yeah, pound bond. No. Okay. Now, dollar bond is an asset for our person or not? No. You need not value straight away again. What is the dollar bond asset value? 32.90. Sulupa. Should I repeat once again? Following. I'll just say once again. Let us take A. I'm discussing what? A. A is having an asset in dollar bond. Liability in what? Pound bond. Assume A to be an US person. What person here? US person. He wants to value the swap in what? Dollars. So his dollar bond asset is what? How much? 32.90. This comes in his asset side of the balance sheet. Home currency asset. What is it? Home currency asset. Now, he issued what bond? Pound bond. Liability converted into what? Dollar. So, what is the value of the pound bond? What is the value of the pound bond? 22.7. Correct? 22.71 pound into. Now, at present, today, spot rate, what is 1 pound is equal to how many dollars? Tell me. 1.65 into 1.65. 22.71 into what? 1.65. Number please. 37.47 dollars. Pound bond liability restated in what? Dollars in his balance sheet. Sulupa, his net wealth or net worth will increase or decrease? Decrease. And he is having a lesser asset and then what? More liability. Sulupa, swap is for him an asset or liability? Liability. So what is swap liability? Tell me the number please. 4.57 dollars. So the swap liability is $4.57. $4.57. Respond. Have the clarity or not? No. So this is our A's status. I can call it as person what? A who has invested in dollar bond and also issued in what? Pound bond. Assume A currency is what? Dollar. Home currency asset on what? Foreign currency liability. Converted into home currency gives you what? 4.57 liability restated. Everybody yes or no? No. Come to next party. Who is that party? B. B is in. Okay. Same thing. I value only for what? A itself. Okay. So now I am valuing this swap in. The heading is valuing swap in what? Dollars. I want to value a swap in what? Pounds. Okay. Now he is having a dollar asset. He is having what? Dollar asset. What? How much? 32.9. Can I convert into pound or not? So tell me how to convert into pound. It is going to be how much? 32.90 dollars divided by what? 1.65. So look, $32.90 dollars divided by 1.65. Number please. 19 point pound 19.94. He is having a pound asset worth what? 19.94. Now tell me what is his pound liability is having. So what the pound liability is having? Tell me the number. 22.71. Pound 22.71. I'm just valuing in both currencies. Okay. So what the net swap asset or liability? Liability. Tell me what the liability? 2.77 pounds. 2.77 pounds. Now, check is very simple here. This 2.77 pounds in what? Equivalent dollars will be 2.77 into what? 1.65 gives you what? 4.57. Write down. Next. Once some space is there. Lot of space is there. Okay. Now, why you know? Space. Okay. Now, in other words, pound liability of 2.77. In other words, pound liability of 2.77 converted to dollars. Pound liability of 2.77 converted to dollars will be 2.77 into 1.65. Maybe 2.77 to 1.65. Gives how much? $4.57. $4.57. $4.57. Everybody, yes or no? The conclusion is A is having a swap asset, a swap liability, a swap liability. Yes, swap liability is $4.57 or 2.77 equivalent pounds. And B is going to have ultimately what? Swap asset. What? How much? $4.57 or what? Equivalent 2.77 pounds. Yes or no? Right down. Next, one more line. A is now having a swap liability. A is now having a swap liability of $4.57. Swap liability of $4.57 or 2.77 pounds. $4.57 or 2.77 pounds. And B is having a swap asset. And B is having a swap asset of the same value. And B is having a swap asset of the same value. B is having a swap asset of the same value. Do you understand the discussion or not? No. Suppose A wants to go out of the swap. Has to what? Go out of the swap. Can I say B Tata will go? Can I say Anna? Why? Because he is having a liability. Na? He should pay a compensation of, suppose B is a UK person. B is what? UK person. He should pay out of his pocket how many dollars? $4.57. By how many pounds? 2.77 pounds, and give it to B, and then what? Resign from the swap. Yes or no? Now, suppose B wants to go out of the swap. B wants to go out of the swap. He can sell the swap to some other party. He can sell the swap to what? Some other party for what value? 2.77 pounds, and then what? Exit. Are you having the clarity or not? So, this is regarding the valuation of swap asset or swap liability. Everybody, yes or no? No. With this, we have completed yet another chapter called as what? Currency swap. Chapter called as what? Currency swap. With this, I have completed. With this, I have complete. No. With this, I have completed all the interest rate derivatives. All the interest rate derivatives. When I started interest rate derivatives, I had the agenda. Forward loan. Forward loan. Forward rate agreement. Interest rate futures. Interest rate options or interest rate guarantees we call, where we have caps and then what? Floors. Then we have interest rate swaps. Then we have currency swaps. And then what are swap options? All this we wanted to discuss, and all this has been discussed in the segment called as what? Interest rate derivative. One of another longest segment which I want discussed almost this month. Most of the time has been spent only on what? Interest rate derivatives after we completed the currency futures. Now, elaborately, again say, this much elaborateness is not there in textbooks, is also not there in what? Our study material, etc. But when the problem comes, now we'll be able to have what? Clarity. Advantage with such an in-depth discussion is, I'll say, when you get any new RTP sums also, you'll be having some background to understand and see what the sum is what all about. Unique sums can be easily what? Followed as we revise later. You'll be following or not? No, don't. With this, we have completed this chapter called as currency swaps and also interest rate derivatives. Incidentally, IFM also completed. International Financial Management also what? Completed. We discussed various hedging strategies. Forward hedging, money market hedging, leading, lagging, exposure, netting. Up to this we discussed in that chapter. Then I said we'll be discussing during derivatives, currency options, currency futures, currency swaps. All the three have been discussed or not? Yes. Currency option and future discussed in application of derivative chapter, and swaps as what? Separate chapter. So IFM also has been what? Completed totally. Everybody, yes or no? Even capital budgeting and IFM also has been what? Discussed. In overseas capital budgeting, that international fixtures effect, along with inflation and capital budgeting. So everything regarding Forex has been what? Completed, which is targeted to be completed here. Respond, yes or no? Now, one chapter very regularly asked, but a simple chapter, but lot of practice is required to do on your own, is a chapter called as mergers and acquisitions. After discussing so much heavy chapters, that chapter seems to be a little bit simple only, and but it will not be having so many concepts or structure here. It is more about equity valuation concepts only will be applied again and again, and that chapter is mergers and acquisitions. Today and next class we'll do as many sums as possible to get used to what? Solving a merger problem. More sums we have to solve. From practice manual, all sums should be what? Solved. From practice problem segment also in our workbook, some good sums have been what? Given. All those should be what? Solved. Apart from what I have discussed. These are general sums. Sums are going to be what? Very general in nature. Literally speaking, you don't require a faculty help for this particular chapter called as what? Mergers and acquisitions. But to get used to how the chapter what? Looks like, I'll be doing some 10 to 12 sums in this area called as mergers and acquisitions. Can we all start or not? No. Shh. This chapter is having lot of theory. Is having what? Lot of theory. If I start speaking, you'll be bored. You'll be saying, feeling what? Bored. I cannot also start the chapter suddenly. We cannot jump it now. We should get ourselves ready to what? Mergers and acquisition. To some extent, till you feel bored, I'll discuss what? A little bit theory, and then straight away jump into the problems. Can I start or not? No. Shh.